So just a quick video on using Silberschnitt running pliers. They are, oops, probably upside down to you. They're awesome, and I don't use them for every cut, but I do like to use them. They are by, they're made by Bowl, and they have this little raised nubbin right there. Mine's kind of worn down because I use it. And then they have in the front, I don't know if I can get, so this is the top, this is the side you want up. And then what you do is you line your score line up with that little mark right there. Now, it doesn't come like that. It just comes, actually, it comes like this. And this is turnable so that you can get it from whatever direction you want. I have used a silver Sharpie, and I have drawn on the pad right next to the black line. Sorry, I don't have a camera set up. I have drawn right next to the black line so that it's easy for me to line up. So what I do when I want to make a tight curve like this one is, and if this doesn't turn out, I'm going to delete this video and no one will ever see it. But what I'll do is I will make my score line, which I have already done. So I am scored right up against my pattern piece. This is Cricut transparent vinyl. I don't recommend it. I'm sure the vinyl is great, but I don't recommend transparent because when it's wet, you cannot see it. My first time trying a vinyl, so I thought I was being clever by buying transparent so that I could see the grain of my glass. I'm not that clever. I will go back to the old-fashioned way of drawing arrows on stuff that you can't see through, just so I can see it when I'm grinding. Okay, off topic. Back to scoring a line. So I had given this tip on a Facebook post, and somebody commented that they don't have that much time to spend that much time making scores and drawing marks. I don't use the Schnitties for every single score line. I don't use them unless they're difficult inside scores like this. This is probably not difficult for a pro, but I am not a pro. I'm just a long-term hobbyist. I would not have tried this cut without my Schnitties. I would have done many rainbow cuts. It would have been 3 or 4 cuts to get to the inside, and then I would have used my grinder to really get close to the pattern. But this is scored very close to the pattern. I don't know if you can see the score or not. You probably can right here. But where there's a dot, that's where the score marks are. So it's pretty close. So now what I'm going to do, I've made the score. I've made the dots on the score. And the reason for the dots is so that it's easier to line up my mark because you can't see the score a lot of times. Sometimes you can. On clear, it's really easy to see. On colored glass, it's not quite as easy to see. Also, I have eye issues, so my eyesight's not that good to begin with. So this is just my little tip. It doesn't take that much time. I don't do it on every score line. What you do is you make your dot, you line up. Hopefully this will be, you want your Schnitty to be perpendicular. Hopefully I got that right. Like that to your score line, and then you give it from the back, way back there, a very gentle squeeze. And I'll be really quiet and maybe you can hear it make the sound that it makes. I don't know if you heard that or not, but it just barely ran the score. Now I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm going to line it up with my mark. And there you can see I'm lined up with the mark, and I'm going to do it again. And it's really important that you line up with the mark because that little knobbin on the underside is going to create pressure to make the score. So here we go, and I'll be quiet so you can hear. And there it is. Now I'm going to run that score a little more, and I am going to line it up in the middle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my Schnitty so that it's perpendicular to the score. Now these have a really deep throat, but it's not that deep that you can get, and this is probably about as deep as it's gonna go. So now I'm lined up, I'm on my dot, my line is on my dot. No, not quite. Now my line is on my dot. I'm right at the extent of my throat, if you can see in there. And I'm gonna give it a gentle squeeze, and then hopefully it's gonna break free. So here we go. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? I'm gonna squeeze a little harder. And it didn't quite break free, but it did break. So now I'm gonna move. I don't have another dot, but I can see my score now. And there we go. And out it comes. And hopefully that's helpful to people that are getting Schnitties that don't mind putting a few extra dots because they don't take that much time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.